It's 6:30, and we're going to start our Board of Police Commissioners meeting. So I'd like to ask, we have an invocation called, I'm calling the meeting to order. We have the invocation that will be given by Commander Chaplain Michael Cadat, and he's on Zoom. No, you're not. Oh, I'm sorry. He's here. That's right. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson, and also through you to the distinguished members of the Commission. Thank you for allowing me to speak today on behalf of my precincts, the 9th Precinct and the 5th Precinct, but especially I bring greetings from all the chaplains across the Detroit Police Department. Regardless of how we came here today, we're here gathered both in person and online. And I know from Scripture that wherever two or more are gathered, God's presence is with us, and God is with us. So at this point, I evoke God's presence in a brief prayer as we begin this meeting. Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day that you've given us, and I pray that each of us in our own way have found ways to rejoice and be glad in it. And may we continue to find ways to rejoice and be glad in life and this world of ours. I ask that your presence be with us and give us peace and comfort as we talk about our concerns and our opportunities in the city of Detroit and the Detroit Police Department through this commission. I ask that you give us calm and that your wisdom flow through us and through these commissioners as they do their work. And I also further ask that you bring peace and safety to our police officers throughout this city as we thank them for their endless and tireless dedication to our safety. Heavenly Father, I ask that you bring blessings upon all those gathered and our city, our commissioners, and our police department now as we begin to start this meeting. May your blessings be upon all of us. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Is Dr. Gordon here? Yes, I'd like to introduce Dr. Carol Gordon from Wayne County Community College District, Northwest Campus.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's good to have you on the campus. On behalf of our Board of Trustees, our Chancellor, Dr. Curtis L. Ivory, and the campus president, Mr. Furquan Ahmed, we welcome you. And if there's anything that we can do to make you feel more comfortable, we are happy to assist. I hope you all have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Gordon. And thank you for allowing us to be here on this beautiful campus. We appreciate it. Thank you. At this time, I'd ask the Madam Secretary to do the roll call.
Madam Chair, through the chair, Commissioner DeWalsh. Commissioner DeWalsh.
Present.
Commissioner Woods.
Present.
Commissioner Bowman.
Present.
Commissioner Camille.
Present.
Commissioner Carter is excused. Commissioner Ivy.
Present.
Commissioner Jones.
Present.
Commissioner Morris is excused. Commissioner Watts.
Here.
Commissioner Williams.
Present.
8 present, Madam Chair.
Thank you. If I could please get an approval for the May 14th agenda, today's agenda.
So moved, Madam Chair.
It's been moved by Commissioner Jones, seconded by Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. And now approval of the minutes for May 7th, 2026. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
Commissioner Ivy.
Commissioner Ivy made the motion, and it was supported by Commissioner Jones. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. 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 Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. And at this time, Madam Secretary, could you introduce the BOPC staff, chief, elected officials, representatives, and community leaders?
Madam Chair, through the chair, present at this time, BOPC staff, Janya Underwood, Teresa Blossom, Dior Mathis, Candace Hayes, Armesia Joshua, Mary Barber, Felicia Tyson, Drew Fries, Dr. Francis Jackson, the parliamentarian, I believe is on Zoom. Supervising Investigator Lysonia Sloan. DPD HR Director Katrina Patillo on Zoom. Deputy Chief Michael Parrish is here for the Office of Chief of Police. Our interpreters on Zoom today are Stephanie Beatty and Tori Bogan. Court Reporter Hanson Court Reporting, Audio Sergeant Enrique Jackson, and Media Services Charles Henry. 8th Precinct present are as follows: the President Gail Tubbs. The other officers I have listed are Treasurer Val Laver, Recording Secretary Elizabeth Patterson, Corresponding Secretary Johnny Steckey, Member at Large Deborah Chapman, Member at Large Darwin Hurd, Member at Large Jamie Shelby, and Sergeant at Arms Rhonda Mitchell. Also present, Marie Overall, Administrative Assistant to State Representative Tyrone Carter, and Vice President of 4th Precinct, Community Relations. I don't see Ms. Butler present. We also have J.G. Love, representative of City Council Member Renata Miller's office. Former Police Commissioner William Davis is in the room today, and former Police Commissioner Ricardo Moore is on Zoom. And those are the individuals registered at this time, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. And now we have, under my report, a resolution honoring Daniel P. Danny Overstreet, and Commissioner Bowman is going to read that resolution.
Sure. Okay, and I'll start reading this. Resolution of the Board of Police Commissioners honoring Daniel P. Danny Overstreet, and we did all call him Danny. Whereas Daniel P. Danny Overstreet devoted his life to the people, culture, and enduring spirit of the city of Detroit, becoming a beloved and respected figure within the Cass Corridor community through his stewardship of the Old Miami, and whereas a decorated Vietnam veteran, labor advocate, and community leader, Danny Overstreet created a welcoming and inclusive gathering place for veterans, artists, musicians, activists, and Detroit residents of every walk of life. And whereas through decades of service, generosity, and unwavering advocacy, Danny Overstreet strengthened the fabric of Detroit by supporting charitable causes, neighborhood events, civic engagement, and community solidarity. And whereas his legacy of compassion, independence, resilience, and steadfast commitment to the city of Detroit leaves a lasting and meaningful impact on countless residents, visitors, and members of the broader Detroit community. And whereas the Detroit Board of Police Commissioners recognizes and honors those individuals whose dedication to community, public life, and the well-being of the city contributes to the strength, character, and unity of Detroit. Therefore, be it resolved that the Detroit Board of Police Commissioners hereby honors the life, legacy, and contributions of Daniel P. Danny Overstreet and extends its deepest condolences to his partner, Julie Flynn, his family, friends, and many people whose lives he's touched. And be it further resolved that this resolution be presented in memory of Danny Overstreet at his memorial observance on May 16th, 2026. I move that the Board of Police Commissioners adopt this resolution.
Thank
Second
you.
that.
It's been moved by Commissioner Bowman, second by Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Commissioner. And now we have the Chief, Deputy Chief Michael Parrish, to give the Chief's report. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you to the rest of this honorable board. We'll begin with our crime data as of today. We are down 11% in homicides, down 13% in non-fatal shootings, down 3% in robberies. We're up 3% in robberies, up 5% in total Part 1 violent crimes. We are down 11% in Part 1 property crimes, and we are up 4% in carjackings. Turning to the subject of major arrests, charges have been issued in an arson that took place at Huntington Place. On April 28, 2026, a person entered Huntington Place and sprayed accelerants onto the carpet, setting the carpet on fire. This incident was captured on video and was shared via news outlets and social media. On May 5, 2026, a security guard observed the suspect walking near the Joe Louis parking garage and called the police. DPD officers responded and observed the suspect inside of the Joe Louis parking garage. Officers detained that suspect without incident. Following an investigation by DPD, the Detroit Fire Investigation Division, and the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, defendant Deshaun Victor Harrison was charged with count 1, third-degree arson, and count 2, arson preparation to burn real property. Turning to an arson at a supermarket, a suspect was charged federally. On May 11, 2026, the Detroit Fire Department crews were dispatched to the E&L supermarket regarding shopping carts on fire outside of the supermarket. Upon arrival, crews observed the fire had spread to the front of the building. DFD put out the fire. Thankfully, there were no injuries to civilians or firefighters. Video footage was subsequently obtained by DPD investigators. Due to a joint investigation by DPD, the Detroit Fire Department Division, and with the assistance of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosive Task Force, the defendant was located and arrested. On May 12, 2026, federal prosecutors charged defendant Philip Valente with malicious, damaging, destroying of a commercial property using fire or explosives. Also, an arrest has been made in a child abuse and missing persons case. On May 10, 2026, officers were dispatched to a home on Cooper Street in the 7th Precinct for a report of child abuse and the child being missing. The investigation revealed the mother and the father had been drinking and smoking marijuana when the father became unstable. The father armed himself with a machete and held the child victim out of a window. The father would not give up the child, and the mother fled the location to call 911. When officers arrived, the father and the child were not at the scene. The victim was later located in a field at the corner of Moffett and Pennsylvania and was transported to St. John's Hospital and listed in critical condition. The father was located at McClellan and Forest and was taken into custody. An investigator's report is being submitted to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. This is obviously great work by our officers who acted quickly and was able to recover the child safely and also able to locate the arrestee and the suspect without incident. Turning now to the issue of traffic enforcement, from May 3rd through the 9th, Traffic Enforcement Unit conducted operations in the 2nd Precinct and the 11th Precinct. Officers made a total of 245 traffic stops, issued 607 tickets for moving violations, and 56 tickets for speeding. Also, turning now to community updates, DPD Wayne State Leadership Academy had a graduation recently, where 17 members of the Detroit Police Department graduated from the Detroit Police Department Wayne State Leadership Academy. The department now has 141 Detroit Police Department members who have completed this program. Closing out, Chief Bedison on May 20th, 2026, and members of the Detroit Police Department will host another Walk a Mile Wednesday in the 11th Precinct at the Dove Academy of Detroit, located at 20001 Wexford Street in Detroit. Community members are invited to participate.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the chief?
Yes.
Commissioners, Commissioner Williams.
Through the chair, I got a question, and I want to get some information on it. I know it's been circulating through the media, and I just got wind of it, but I guess it was brought to the board last year, 2024, about a retired detective named Barbara Simmons. Simon. They call her the closer or whatnot. And a few inmates, prisoners, I guess was wrongly convicted. They've been released because of her police work. I wanted to have some information on that. I don't know, I'm sure you don't have it right now, but when I read that story, it's disheartening that individuals had to be incarcerated for wrongdoings. And I don't know everything with the story, everything behind the story. But I'd like to know, what I'd like to know is that an investigation is still going on, because I read that it was one going on, or said to be going on last year. Can you bring me up to date on what's going on with that?
I will definitely look into it and get back in touch with you and the rest of this board regarding that matter. I don't have the details with me to speak competently on it at this time.
Thank you. Commissioner Woods?
Yeah, through the chair, I saw something in the paper today saying that when A.C. Fitzgerald sat in the seat, that he was going to do an investigation on the things that Detective Simon was engaged in, and I'll forward the article to the secretary to share with the board members. But they talked to the department, and the department said that there's no ongoing investigation or anything of that nature. And I know there's a lot going on as it relates to the conviction integrity unit in terms of those cases that she's been involved with, and that, there has been some exonerations as it relates to that. But, I want to make sure that we get that information to everyone. I try to pull it up, while we sit here.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Bowman?
Yeah, hi, Deputy Chief. I'm very concerned about some allegations that I've seen in letters from members of the community, and it's not the first time I've heard or witnessed things that would seem to support some of these allegations. And it involves the two big issues, really. One is a lack of consistent and thorough enforcement of animal cruelty laws. And secondly, officer-involved shootings involving death, where the canine victims were not exhibiting behavior that represented a threat to other persons or to the officers, yet they were shot. That's two big things. And I'm just wondering, one, if you had any comment on what could be done to encourage officers to more thoroughly enforce these laws, if indeed they're not being fully enforced, and maybe you'll simply say they are. And secondly, what is the process for handling officer-involved shootings where canines involved? For instance, is there some timeout where the officer, is maybe given some psychological evaluations? Is there any investigation by internal affairs, that kind of thing?
Just so I understand your inquiry, you're saying an officer-involved shooting where a canine is involved. You mean where an officer fires at a canine?
Yeah, specifically when it's lethal, involving death, yeah.
Okay, so where an officer fires at a
Right.
dog and kills the dog.
'Cause here I'm looking at the allegations, for instance, would be that a dog chained so tightly to a chain link fence that he could not lie down was shot and killed despite being fully restrained. A dog inside a fenced yard contained, posing no threat, was shot and killed. A dog walked out from a backyard and was calmly looking around, was shot and killed without any attempt at peacefully getting control of the animal.
Well, I can say that officers are only allowed to fire their weapons at dogs when there is an imminent threat of injury to the officer or to somebody else. The dog has to be in an aggressive state, or at the very least, capable of being vicious in the very near future. That being said, I know that the department has levied discipline against officers who have prematurely or without justification fired at dogs. But I can assure the board that anytime an officer pulls out his weapon and fires a shot, whether it's including at dogs, that the matter is investigated. And if there is misconduct, the department will charge the officer with misconduct. As far as getting the officer psychological help, that would depend on the circumstances. If the officer fired his weapon because he was in mental distress, I would imagine an evaluation would be quite automatic. But if an officer was merely negligent or reckless in his decision to use his firearm, that wouldn't be treated as a psychological matter. That would be treated as a disciplinary matter.
Okay, thank you. Are you aware of any of these allegations elsewhere?
I am not aware of any specific allegations
Okay.
against any officers, and I'm not aware of any cases pending in discipline for these matters. The case that I was speaking of, where I know we have disciplined somebody, I'm going back several years.
And through the chair, I do want to back up on the enforcement of animal cruelty laws, where as far as the owners mistreating dogs and that kind of thing.
Absolutely, through the chair. And I'd like to opportunity to verify this information. My understanding is that we actually have one officer, maybe two officers that work in investigations, that they are dedicated solely to animal cruelty and that they have a passion for that particular subject. I'll confirm that with the deputy chief over investigations and let you know, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other commissioners?
Madam Chair?
Commissioner Ivy?
Yes, I just want to say thank you to D1 representation here tonight and having our meeting here. Thank you, Gail Tubbs. Thank you, Jetty Wills and Commissioner Lever for sponsoring this for us tonight. I'm happy to be sitting in our house tonight.
And through the chair.
Thank
if I
you.
may,
Commissioner Woods? Jones?
I will also echo the comments made by Commissioner Ivy. It is so good to see my friends here from this district. I'm sorry. It is so good to see my friends here from this district. Always good to be in your house.
Thank you. Any other commissioners? Commissioner Camille?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Greetings, Chief, through the chair. Thank you so much for your report and definitely sending thoughts and prayers to the child that's in critical condition and the family going through that difficult time. I'd also like to thank you for quickly turning around a request for gun locks for our Community Advisory Council members in District 7 that was specifically requested by Ms. Bettina Little. And I'm sure that our CAC will get those in the hands of families who need them to make sure that we don't have misuse and accidents by firearms. You know, my colleagues raised the concerns regarding wrongful convictions, which I'm glad they did. I have a more general question to understand that if a current or former DPD member does either maliciously or even through negligence contributes to a wrongful conviction, could such actions be considered criminal, or is that considered just a breach of policy given the serious impact that a wrongful conviction causes to a person?
It would depend on the nature of what the officer did or failed to do, but any sort of misconduct in office can certainly result in criminal charges. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And then lastly, want to follow up on a request I reached out about earlier this week regarding some evidence that was shared with me of some uncleanliness in the crime scene services dryer and the nearby drain. Do you have an update on if the dryer has been cleaned and disinfected? It was pretty bad.
The only update I have, and I did attempt to bring more information today, but the only update that I have is that they are investigating it. And at this time, I have no further details. Hopefully by next week, we'll have additional information for you, Commissioner.
Okay, through the chair, thanks so much, Chief. And just to remind you, part of that request was that the board receive the protocols also for cleaning the dryer and the area around the dryer and any special protocols if pests are observed in the area.
Understood, Commissioner.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Commissioner Watts?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for your report, DC Parrish, very good. Early today, I attended an event at precinct number 3 and with the 15th Street Block Club, and they wanted to pass along, especially let DC Hayes know, is because we received an inquiry, a really complaint about a month ago about drag racing in the area. And so they wanted to pass along that things have been quiet in the last 3 weeks, so I know there's been a strategy that you guys have had. But we also know the weather's going to get real hot this weekend and hope it's going to continue. So I want to make sure I pass that along, and we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Thank you, and I'll elevate that.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Commissioner Woods and then Commissioner Bowman.
Yes, the article I'm referencing is in Metro Times, and it was May 12, 2026, written by Steve Neveling, as relates to some parent, citizen who wanted to file charges or, a complaint against, so if you can just wash that out for us in terms of the processes there and what are the protocols there.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Bowman?
Yeah, I had one other thing I just wanted to, and perhaps it would be more in terms of an inquiry, unless you had specific knowledge of this, which I'm not assuming. But I had a letter forwarded to me by a constituent who or not, maybe not a constituent, a community member anyway, who apparently had it's a letter that had actually been sent to Kevin White of the homicide section. And I'm assuming the reason I got it is the person needed more information or something. That's concerning the homicide in question is one of Greg Hawkins, and the person who's concerned is his sister. But Greg Hawkins Sr., and I guess there's a report number 2206-210-386. I guess my first question, if you know anything about it, whether or not it's an ongoing investigation, if not, perhaps just a status update, which might just contain that verification, but some kind of status update on that case, if that could go to me.
I do not have that right now, but I can certainly do research and get back to you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have?
I'd just like to make one
Commissioner
other.
Jones, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like to make one other comment, really piggybacking off of the concerns that Commissioner Bowman had expressed in terms of the animals. If I'm not mistaken, a few weeks ago, one of the news media outlets had shared that the Detroit Police Department has now assigned 1 or 2 officers to that team just for animals. So it was good to see that. And I'd like to thank Detroit Police Department for doing that. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other comments? All right. Do we have an 8th precinct reporter?
I believe we have Commander Lever here and his team.
Who's that?
Ms. Tubbs is the committee.
Relations?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm Commander Lieber, Commanding Officer of the 8th Precinct. I have with me today my staff is Captain John Garner. I also have my NPO Sergeant, Sergeant Nixon. I can see NPO Reed in the house today. NPO Childry, as well as Police Officer Love, representing the 8th Precinct today. So I want to say thank you to this community for giving me an opportunity to be the Commanding Officer of the 8th Precinct. I want to say thank you to this board for giving me the opportunity to present this information to you today. And thank you to the officers assigned to the 8th Precinct who go out and do it every day, 365 days a week. And also, if you will look over to my right, and I'll get started soon, so excuse me, you'll see Detroit, the president of Detroit 300, Mr. Arthur Edge. He's one of our community violence intervention. He's one of our community violence intervention partners, and we stand united. And I thank him for coming today. And also, last but certainly not least, I see at least 5 communities represented here in the 8th precinct today. We couldn't do it without you. We wouldn't be here without you. And thank you for coming to support today. So I want to tell you about the 8th precinct. We are 15 and a half square miles. We're one of the largest precincts in the city of Detroit. We serve over 80,000 residents who live, work, and play in the 8th precinct. Year to date, we have received over 20,000 calls for service, and 6,291 of those has been priority 1 runs. I want to tell you a little about crime that's going on in the 8th precinct. Some is going to be concerning, but it's also encouraging. So right now, our homicides are down 37.5%. Our non-fatal shootings are even at 0. Our criminal sexual assaults reporting is up. I had 11 last year with 26 this year. This shows a 136% increase. Our robberies are even. Our carjacking is down 25%. Our aggravated assaults are up 22%. Motor vehicle thefts are up 13%, while burglaries are down 15%, as well as larcenies, they're up 14.5%. Talk about when I said concerning but encouraging, and that talks about my sexual assaults. I was taking a look at the data, and when you look at the data, 24 of the 26 are actually suspects that are known. That's going to be their intimate partners, their classmates, or they're related, unfortunately. And also, what makes it really, really difficult, a little bit more difficult, is because 24 of the 26 were inside as well. So when crimes occur inside, it's a little bit difficult to impact. So I did reach out to our subject matter experts, our special victims unit, sex crimes specifically. I've been on the phone with them daily because I've been watching it go up and down. And this is going to be a community education piece where we actually go out and educate the community. Prompt reporting, some of the reportings are old, and swift follow-up, and they are doing that for us. So, and some sexual trafficking awareness that's going on right now between our officers and our community, and also posted in our hotels, especially in the 8th precinct, because we have checked them for compliance. So again, it's concerning, but it's encouraging, because what it's doing is it's showing that, I can tell you that if we don't know about it, we can't do anything about it. So we have built enough trust for them to come forward and start to report it to us, so we can resolve it as quickly as possible. So, for our violence crime, I told you our non-fatal shootings are even, our homicides are down. However, our aggravated assaults are up, and that's led by domestic violence. But we do have a violent crime strategy to deal with that in the 8th precinct. So we have our targeted data-led enforcement. We have a dedicated apprehension team to go out and apprehend and arrest those who are responsible, to hold them accountable. We were in restore order operations with our special operations, and sometimes that's citywide, and as such, one operation is going on as we speak. The Wayne County Sheriffs have came over today and partnered with our traffic team, and they're out doing enforcement as we speak. I have a bar detail. In the 8th precinct, we have a specialized bar detail. What that does is on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays to deal with, to impact or disrupt our aggravated assaults that happens in those type of venues. I have 2 cars dedicated to go to each bar in the event spaces that are rented out for compliance, to make sure they're in compliance with licensing, to make sure they're in compliance with capacity, to make sure they're in compliance with youth management, there are no underage people there, and to make sure they're in compliance with code violations like smoking and stuff like that. So we have, and we run a high visibility traffic enforcement as well, because our philosophy at the 8th precinct, these people are, the bad actors are transporting these guns in cars, so high visibility traffic deters that. And we also partnered up with Michigan Department of Correction to do home checks for probationaries and parolees. We are partnered up with our partners in the department, outer departments, county, federal, and state as well as our CVI groups that you see here today. We have Detroit 300 as well as the People Action, and we partner with BC because we hold the locations accountable for where these people like to hang. From my violent crime strategies, I can tell you year to date, we have taken 169 guns off the street at this time. We have made more than 590 felony and misdemeanor arrests, and we have issued more than 7,900 ordinances, traffic-related ordinances. So our current trend in the 8th precinct right now that I'd like to talk about, I know that we said our larceny is up a little bit, 14.5%. We have had an opportunity to take a deep dive and look into that. That's largely due to our vacant and rehab homes. They're stealing our hot water heaters and our furnaces. We have been dealing with that as well. We have a dedicated property crime team that are very diligent in doing that. They do it on duty and off duty as well. I'm getting calls all the time. We are actually running the current surveillance operation right now, we have made 2 arrests and we look to make more. I have a very, very strong community, as you can see. Like I said, over 5 are represented here today. What we do is public service announcements with them. We partner with them. They give us the information, and they trust us enough to give us information so that we can go and react to it. And that helps us very, very well. We have our CVI groups to help us as well. High visibility patrol right now is going on in the area that we know is impacted in the hot spots. I have a dedicated scout car for the areas where our air conditioners are being taken, and as well, so I can tell you, since we've implemented our strategy, we have 0 incidents since. So we're not stopping there, but I will tell you, although we are up 14%, in the last 28 days, we're down 8%, so we're definitely trending in the right direction. We expect that this will end shortly. At the 8th Precinct, I do want to say that we are more than policing. We are engaged with our community. We're connected with our community. You'll also find me telling them if it's important to them, it's important to me. And they hold me to that, right? And I appreciate that. So for community assistance, if you come right to the 8th Precinct, we have a Huntington Bank ATM right in our lobby. Please come and use it. Please come and use it. We have an internet transaction safe space right in our lobby. If you're making purchases on the internet, come into our lobby, please. Make the transaction there. Let's make sure it's safe. We have our crime intelligence unit who gives us real-time information. So if you ever go downtown, you see the crime intelligence unit with the big screen and stuff. We have a satellite one. We have a satellite office right in the 8th Precinct. They give us real-time information. They give us direct, immediate shot spotter assistance, Project Green Light monitoring with direct information, as well as instant updates on cases to assist our detective units and our persons of interest when we're looking for them. We also have a master social worker, Miss Megan Davis. She does a lot of things in that building to help out our community. So I asked her what's her top 3, because I know I'm short on time. She told me crisis intervention, therapeutic intervention, as well as public education. She does a lot. If anybody's interested, she's right in our building. She has clients. She takes clients right in our building. I'll provide the number after I get off stage today, as well as our CVI groups. One you see here today, I've said it a couple of times, Detroit 300. We have a common goal of reducing the violence in the precinct in the city of Detroit. Every other Wednesday, we have community conversations where we connect with the community. I am there, or somebody from my staff is there, listening, responding, making sure that our citizens are represented and supported. And also, we have the People's Action, not to forget them. The last Thursday of every month, they have a domestic violence intervention forum, and we are there and we represent it and listen to our community and respond to our community as well. Again, we are engaged with this community. Some of the engagement pieces are we have Coffee with a Cop every other Tuesday at the precinct. The next one will be June the 10th at 10 a.m. This is where people come out and we get out to discuss things that's going on in the community and resolve problems right in our room. We have senior activities. For our senior complexes, we've taken our Coffee with a Cop on the road, so we go to them so we can spend some time and listen to them and address their concerns. And we also have a movie night where our NPOs go out and pick up our seniors and bring them in. We have a fantastic auditorium, probably much bigger than this at the 8th Precinct, where we see 237 people. So what we do there is we have movie nights for the seniors, movie nights for the youth. We also have career days at our schools where we talk about mentoring, conflict resolution, anti-bullying, and having positive interaction with the Detroit Police Department. It's a good thing. We have active shooter training in our churches. We also have gun lock distributions. I heard them talking about it up here today. We have Hooping with the Cops. So by the way, our 8th Precinct enforcers are 3-0. We're undefeated. So that's a mayor's initiative where our youth come together and taught to be better youth and better youth through sports as well. And last but certainly not least, we have our Brotherhood and Sisterhood program where we deal with at-risk youth. And I talked about this last year, and I think it's a very big success. Our chosen school, our school in our area is Henry Ford High School. So at Henry Ford High School, what we do, same thing, we mentor youth, we spend time with them, we teach them sports, we teach them how to tie a tie, we teach them how to grow up, we teach them how to be mature. And it's absolutely, I think it's an absolutely fantastic initiative. So with that, as we were dealing with specifically two of the youth, we impacted them so much they came back and they joined the Detroit Police Department. Right. So that's going to be Officer Tamari Harper and Officer Andre Tucker. We impacted them so much they asked and were assigned back to the 8th Precinct.
Wow.
It's better than that. So Harper's moved on, and he's going to in number 6, and he's on special operations, and we wish him very, very well. But Police Officer Andre Tucker, he's still at the 8th precinct. He's now assigned to special operations, and he's dealing with the same at-risk youth that helped him. He was one of the at-risk youth. Now he's back helping them. So thank you for that. And my wife told me when I was practicing today, she said I could smile, and I said I'll smile after. So I think that's a fantastic thing. And getting out of here, I just want to talk about the upcoming events that are coming at the 8th precinct. If anybody wants to attend, this is Police Week. It is amazing. They are going to feed our officers starting tonight at midnight through tomorrow. And we have a senior barbecue. We're going to the Faith Manor Senior Facility on the holiday. We're going to feed our seniors. We're going to feed our veterans. We also have Hooping with the Cops this Saturday. The location is the New Pal Gym. I'll get the address if you want to come out and support. I'll get the address when I get off the stage. And our community council meeting, the last Monday of the month. However, because of the holiday, is moved up to May 18th. I want to say this before I get off and take any questions that you have. We are One Detroit, and we will never stop.
Thank you. Through the chair. Yes, Commissioner Ivey.
Now, you know I have to say something about D1, right? Thank you, Commander Lever. This is what I talk about when I tell people we're doing the business in D1. Thank you for uplifting and representing this community with great police work. I know we got a lot of work to do to amend some things, but I can honestly stand here and say today I can stand with my commander in the district and my police precinct that they do the work. We do the work. So thank you for uplifting that. I do just want to add, I did do a walkthrough with Brightmoor last Friday with one of our constituents, Mama D. It was an amazing opportunity to talk to the citizens in in Brightmoor, and they are waiting for us to come and connect with the police department. They're looking for you guys to come do a little bit more over there with them and connect with them. I know you're going to get around to it. I just want to highlight that. But other than that, Brightmoor is brighter, and I'm seeing a lot of good things over there, moving over there in Brightmoor, and just want to commend all of our leaders, Jetty Wells, of course, for CNBC, Gloria Tubbs, president of O'Hara Park, and all of our representation in District 1. We are District 1, which is the best one. So thank you for your report.
Thank you. Any other commissioners? Commissioner Williams?
Through the chair, I got a question I want to ask, because I know I didn't hear it when you were giving your report. How many illegal guns are you picking up, and do you have a task force out, and how do you go about illegal guns in your precinct?
So year to date, we have confiscated 169. So you're making a determination between illegal and, I don't understand the question.
Picking up, actually stopping or finding illegal guns in your district, in your precinct. How many guns are you taking off of the street?
Year to date, 169.
169, okay,
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Through the chair, may I go back?
Go ahead, sure.
So you said we'll get around to going to Brightmoor. I've talked to the Brightmoor, their leaders, and I told them we were coming out. Me and Captain Gardner are always available, so all they have to do is call me. I'll leave you my number. They give me a call. We will be there. We are connected. I am at almost every community event, me or my captain, or nonetheless, our NPOs.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. I'll just, connect with you, of course, like we do, and we'll just talk about some more great things that we're going to do in D1.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Woods?
I want to acknowledge Bob and Malik Shabazz just came in, just strong pioneer in the city, doing great work. Then Henry Ford got me today for their prom, so it's always good to be supportive of them, and I'm amazed of that story of the students coming from Henry Ford and coming into the department. I think that is very powerful. Something that need to be highlighted, because, our young people are struggling with identity and purpose. And I watched officers go in and often have officers work with me and going into some of the schools to be able to touch the lives of our children. So definitely appreciate that. And the mayor has, and for the community should know that the mayor has announced to occupy the summer, and that everybody in the community need to tap into that for their children and loved ones. And it's not just basketball in these spaces, but mentoring, job, vocational training, and all of those type of things, and being able to help members of the community in a more significant way than just basketball. That's just a tool that they're using. And so go on the City of Detroit website, and I think that it should be posted on our Facebook pages and on all our handles to be able to promote this great opportunity for the children and the citizens of the City of Detroit, because we need all hands on deck this summer to be able to push peace in our community. And so thank you for your leadership. That's a very powerful report. And we'll be in touch.
Please.
Thank you kindly. Commissioner Watts.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for a great report. Particularly, I want to echo the sentiments regarding the students, and especially at Henry Ford High School. And not just because that's the school I graduated from. Of course I wouldn't do that. But just the great work of the students over there. A couple months ago, a lot of our alumni, we met with the principal, and we constantly stay engaged with them on what we can do to continue, because it's going to take a village, and we all got to be a part of that village. So thank you for the great work you're doing with that high school, and really with all the students and the youth. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other commissioners? All right. Thank you so much for your report. It was very informative. Thank you.
You're welcome, Al.
Next, we have oral communications and public comments. And I just want to remind people that the comments are limited to 2 minutes. Inappropriate language and comments will not be tolerated and may delay the TV broadcasts and video posts.
Ms. Tubbs, for any comments from Ms. Tubbs.
Oh, did you want to go ahead and introduce her?
Yep.
I'm just going to stop for 1 second. Commissioner Woods, go ahead.
Yeah, I know OG Tubbs is up there, and you usually make comments during these meetings. You want to give you an opportunity if you want to make some comments on behalf of the community. You got the yellow on, so all eyes on you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I was not prepared to speak, but for some reason I'm not ever without words. So here we go. First of all, I represent the 8th Precinct Police Community Relations Council, acronym 8PPCRC. We are a very proud bunch. We are very caring, and we will be serving, actually when I leave here, I have to go home, warm up my meatballs. We're serving the evening shift tonight at 10:30 at our precinct. And then tomorrow we'll be serving both shifts, an array of food. Now I will tell you, I was a little nervous because they was coming in a little slow, and then boom, it just came out of nowhere. But it really didn't come out of nowhere. It came out of the hearts, the passion, the camaraderie, and the community that we all share together. We collaborate and partner with our CVIs very well.
Sure.
We have a great relationship with the police officers. I commend Commander all the way down to every one of the NPOs, and we know them by name, and we have their numbers in our phones. They are accessible, they are available, they are amenable, and they definitely, when our commander says if it's important to us, it is important to him. Everything he said in his report is factual and actual. and there is a lot of love in our community. So we do partner well, we work well with our officers, and we plan to do that for a very long time. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Ms. Stubbs, so you guys are serving them tonight? Yeah, what time you going? What time is it?
10:30, I think.
We are setting up tonight at 9 o'clock. I don't know if you can hang out, but we might be able to feed you by 10. But actually, we were serving the officers at 10:30. They will be waiting. They will be fed very, very well. And you all are invited. We have more than enough.
Yeah, can I make a donation to you guys for it?
You most certainly can.
Okay, I'll give you a donation to support it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Any other comments? All right, hearing none, could we have our first speaker?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our first three speakers will be Michael Humphreys, former Police Commissioner William Davis, and Teron Hayes.
God is great. Thank you, commissioners, honorable commissioners, police women. My name is Michael Humphrey, and I have a concern because I had a situation where a former retired policeman committed fraud, and I need to see who to see on that level. I also have a concern to see about sex trafficking by that same retired police officer who said basically he had done diverted some people that came from New York that were supposed to be seeing me to marry, and he had basically said he's having them out there doing whatever he wants to do. And I'm saying, okay, I tried to talk to people in the Detroit Police Department. I went down to the mayor's office, what they call a paper trail over from former Commander McKissick. That's what he told me to do. He also told me to come here tonight to speak to the commissioners here because I called once and no one returned my call. So I've been to the police station, I've been to the FBI, I've been to the state, what do you call it, State Attorney General's office in Lansing. I reached out to everybody I could think to reach out to. I emailed everybody I could think to reach out to as well. And I'm just trying to find out what to do next.
Okay, is there?
Ms. Long is here for if you want to do a complaint.
Okay, yes, we have staff here that we could have meet with you if you're available for a few minutes.
I will be. I haven't finished yet either, so I definitely want to get this out of the way. These people who are doing this are exploiting these women that came to New York for sex. I've been hearing this because they're in the same fraternity, they're covering for each other, and it's really in the streets like the rumor was there a party at the mansion. Like, is it really real? Yes, it's really real. So I'm trying to find out how to get to the bottom of that. How do I make appointments with these people who say they can help me? That's, I guess, I'll be doing that next step. I meet with them. How do I get an appointment with the mayor? It seems like I've been barred from the mayor's office. How do I get an appointment with the chief of police?
We'll be able to help you with that information, provide you the information on how to do that. So, Ms. Long, is it Ms. Long?
Yes. Yeah, not
Can
to
you
make
please
the
stand up?
appointments, but just to file a complaint.
Right, to file a complaint. She's standing in the back and she'll be able to meet with you. Thank you. Next speaker.
Good evening, William M. Davis here.
Good evening.
I guess I have a few things I want to say. I think more needs to be done about officers that shoot unarmed black women in our city. You know, this is crazy. More needs to be done about officers that insult black women. This is crazy, and insult anybody. Also, slightly changing that, recently we had a meeting. I'm the civilian co-chair of the Metro Detroit All-PAC. The law enforcement chair is the chief of police in Dearborn, an outstanding young man. In fact, I recommended him for it. But, you know, we had a meeting at the Salvation Army Adult Rehabilitation Center right there on 4th Street. You know, if y'all get a chance, y'all should take a tour. There's a lot of services that more people need to know about. Sure. Because in the 80s, I was a ASME community service rep for all of Wayne County. But there's a whole lot more that we could and should be doing to help people. Also, I'd like to encourage you to possibly look at some technology. You know, right now, AI has the capability of scanning all of the body-worn cameras and all the cars, you know, cameras in your cars. Perhaps that could make it easier for, as a City of Detroit retiree, we'll cut down on so many payouts that the city is doing. You know, so I think in some ways we need to advance, some things we need to be concerned about, and some things we just need to let people know what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Next speaker.
If I may,
Go ahead,
Madam
Commissioner
Chair.
Woods.
Thank you for sharing it about the all-pack meetings. I know some of our staffs been attending the meetings, and I get all the emails, and it's my intention to be able to come to one of the meetings when my schedule open up. But thank you guys for doing that, and that's a phenomenal entity, and I encourage citizens to learn more about ALPAC and be a part of that, because that is a powerful entity.
Yes, the current chief used to come to a lot of our meetings before he moved up.
God.
Thank you. Next speaker, go ahead.
Madam Chair, may I be heard?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Teron Haynes, District 5. I just want to thank the community for coming out. I also want to thank the board for their presence and DPD as well for theirs. So I absolutely am going to continue my advocacy around the city of Detroit not renewing their ShotSpotter contract. I know that there's limited purview with the Board of Police and how they can handle that, but I do want to let the community know that ShotSpotter has proven itself ineffective time and time again throughout every single renewal of the contract. It continues to be ineffective. Through Sound Thinking's own analysis and data, they posted an article just, I think, maybe this month or not some time ago, that in the past 3 years, there have been 24,000 alerts, with ShotSpotter alerts, which resulted in around 3% arrests. That is just not good enough for Detroiters. But with that, I also want to make it clear that when Sound Thinking, ShotSpotter, DPD says there's a number of arrests because of ShotSpotter, I do not want us to get that confused with convictions. Arrests are not convictions, and I would love to see some statistics on how ShotSpotter has affected conviction rates rather than just arrests, because just because people get arrested does not mean they get convicted. The story does not stop there at the arrest, and so I would like that to be known. I also want it to be known that crime reduction is not through surveillance, and I want the Detroiters to know that the slow creep of surveillance and AI is upon us, whether we talk about facial recognition, whether we talk about license plate readers and all types of surveillance on the highways that we do not want. And as we talk about ShotSpotter, which does catch conversations through their microphones, if we continue to let AI and surveillance into our cities without recording and without managing it, we will not be able to move. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next 3 speakers will be Zelda Flanagan, Minister Eric Blunt, and Josh Mann.
Hello, my name is Zelda Flanagan. I am a proud Detroit resident and homeowner in the 8th Precinct's jurisdiction, District 1. I'm here today because at 2 a.m. on Mother's Day, I opened my front door to an army of police who informed me that the ShotSpotter surveillance technology detected possible gunshots and pinpointed my address inaccurately as the point of origin. My neighbor and I were cooperative, but we were both subjected to unlawful searches. Officers entered my property and searched my backyard without permission, and they put my neighbor up against the brick of his own house, frisked and harassed him on his property. I'm confident these searches were unlawful because ShotSpotter's website and DPD's own guidelines explicitly state that a ShotSpotter alert does not constitute probable cause and does not authorize officers to detain or search individuals or enter property. This is a violation of our Fourth Amendment rights, and we both left this interaction feeling unsettled. Recent research from Detroit's ShotSpotter data shows its ineffectiveness, and others will speak to those statistics, but the one that jumped out to me was the 8.5% increase in non-violent weapons-based charges directly associated with ShotSpotter incidents, which isn't in itself a negative, but it raises serious concerns for me, combined with my experience that DPD may have a habit of using ShotSpotter alerts as probable cause, despite it being against every guideline for this technology. It's also sending our police into black neighborhoods where they've not been called for, and I specify black neighborhoods because that is where I live. And it's been obvious to everyone I've told this story to that my black neighbor was treated very differently than I was. I was asked 2 questions, and he was treated like a criminal, and while I'm upset about the violation of my property, I'm furious at the way that he was treated. We did not feel protected and served in that moment. I take this issue seriously, and my expectation is that the city will issue department-wide education on what truly constitutes probable cause, and that this board will recommend to the city council not to renew the ShotSpotter contract in June. Thank you.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
Wait a minute, I have 3 hands up, so, wait one second. Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Woods, and then Commissioner Bowman.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, do you have officer's name, any type of report that was made?
Not yet. I have submitted a FOIA request, but this only happened on Sunday.
Okay, and I wanted to know, can I get some information about this incident that happened?
I would probably need more specifics. If she turns over
Right.
her information to the chief investigator, I can follow up with him to get more
Yeah,
specifics.
yeah, I just want to, read into it, see what happened, see what her rights were, if they were violated, why they were violated.
No, I understand, but she hasn't provided enough information
All right.
for me to even begin an inquiry. I would suggest she provide her, if it sounds like she has a complaint to make.
Yeah.
I would suggest provide that to the chief investigator. I can follow up, get enough information to.
My neighbor and I have
inquiry.
both submitted LCI complaints, but I'm happy to speak to anybody that wants to know more information about it.
If that's the case, through the chair to the speaker, if that's the case, Officer Battersby, would you get her name and information? Just enough for us to attempt to find a report or body worn camera video. And I'll get back to you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Woods.
And you said this happened in the 8th precinct?
Yes, I don't know if it was the 8th precinct that responded, because again, I don't have officers' names or anything like that yet, but that is where I live.
That's where you live and that's where your home is at?
Yep, Prairie St. Mary's is the neighborhood.
And I think that we need an immediate answer as it relates to what happened to her, especially in light of that this technology is before City Council next week. And the fact of the matter is, if first of all, I'm sad to hear that you experienced that, and your neighbor experienced that. We want to see what happened, and we need to know what happened immediately with that situation, and the public has the right to know that information immediately. So we need a quick turnaround as it relates to what happened in that situation.
Understood, Commissioner.
Commissioner Bowman, thank you.
Yeah, I had actually inquired about, had some questions, statistical questions that would maybe shed some light on the effectiveness or lack of it pertaining to ShotSpotter. And the chief had gotten some statistics for me and actually brought up at a meeting, but it wasn't exactly what I was requesting. So I'm actually going to repeat this to our deputy chief, Parrish here, and he can pass it along, hopefully, to his superior. And I brought it up to Chief Bedison as well, but I guess repetition doesn't hurt. I'd like to know, and not just any crime, and she had brought up arrests for possession or illegal possession of firearms or discharge. Specifically violent crimes, crimes where a person was either harmed or there was an intent to harm an individual, That's what I mean by violent crime. How many of those were interrupted or had an arrest result where there had not also been an accompanying 911 call? And the reason I'm specifically saying, before I just ask for the information, but here's why I'm asking, is because the emphasis would be when people like myself bring up privacy concerns that, well, yeah, but isn't safety, more important? Actually, we could get to a whole other thing about that. I won't. But and the point I'm looking at is even safety really improved much by this, and specifically, if police are showing up at a scene, and I know there will be cases where they show up because of shot spotter, not because of a 911 call. How often is it that actually helps directly with saving somebody or getting somebody who actually intends to do harm? And that's my concern. I'm not saying they shouldn't arrest people for illegally discharging firearms in the city, but I'm saying if it's not involved with another crime, I'm not categorizing that as a violent crime. And when it comes to protecting people, I am definitely concerned with effectiveness of that. And if it's not that effective, then that argument as to why we should give up a certain amount of privacy kind of goes away. And that's why I've been asking for that information, just to be clear. But I'll yield.
Thank you, Commissioner Camille, and then Commissioner Watts.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To Commissioner Vice Chair Wood's point, there are decisions being made by City Council very quickly about the renewal of this contract, and I'd like us to be a little bit more specific and direct to Office of the Chief Investigator on getting information to us regarding this particular complaint. And I know OCI is just about out of the woods with the backlog, and so I'd like to see, we have representation, I don't know where Ms. Sloan went. I know she's here somewhere.
She's with another person from the audience.
But I would like to see OCI get back to us as a board in the next day or two with the confirmation that this complaint is in process and a commitment to expedite the investigation, not do it I want them to do it thoroughly, but we need to expedite and we need some answers within days. We can't even wait till our next Thursday meeting to understand what's going on with this.
Thank you. Commissioner Watts and then Commissioner Woods.
Yes, thank you. I want to commend you for coming here tonight. Also want to express the sentiments, apologize anything to you that you had to go through this experience. Of course, we all know technology is not, a safeguard. However, I'm glad you brought that to our attention, also how you were treated different than your neighbor. Because regardless of technology, we all want a safe community, it should be colorblind. And I hope that's an isolated incident, so it should not happen. Where we're treating one citizen different than another citizen. If that occurred, that's very alarming. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you to the board for taking it seriously.
Thank you, Commissioner Woods.
And my expectation is for the department to get that information within 24 hours, not as it relates to our investigation tool, that's going to take place. But I think we need some immediate answers from the department within 24 hours as to what happened in that situation. At least give us a briefing on that, because it's vitally important that we know what happened in that situation. That's what my expectation is.
Thank you. Commissioner Ivey?
Thank you for your courageous effort in standing up for what's right. I appreciate that, being the representation of District 1. I would like to know if we can meet after the meeting so I can get some information from you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any others? Okay. Next speaker. Thank you.
Good evening, Board. I'm Minister Eric Blunt from Sacred Heart Catholic Church. This recent conversation we had is something we should have had 5-10 years ago when this technology was rolled out, when body-worn camera footage was known. Now you want to say we want to see it within 24 hours? That's what we've been screaming about for years. And if you want another example of how this plays out every day, just not somebody coming here, the family of a dead Michigan State student seeks body-worn camera footage release. They said they still don't know what happened during the incident in which police officers opened fire on Isaiah Kirby. Quoting the family, "All we ask for is truth and transparency." They renewed their plea last week after watching a narrated video summary police were planning to release to the public. The family issued a statement critical of the department's efforts, characterizing it as highly edited, selectively compiled, and deeply one-sided presentation that raised more questions than answers. If that doesn't sound like the Detroit Police Department's handling of body-worn camera footage, I don't know what is. And so we will not stop until we get what we deserve. So Commissioner Woods, you said 24 hours. Set it for body-worn camera footage for all use of force for the Detroit Police Department, and then we will know the truth. Commissioner Williams, you are deeply troubling to this city. It's just not your name change as an adult before you filed to run for the commission. It is your silence on the 12th precinct and what has happened just in the last month. Yes, I'm out of time.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Commissioner Woods?
Yes, through the chair. As it relates to this young lady's situation, I'm not addressing you. As it relates to this young lady's situation, it's the first time that I heard something like that to happen. And when those type of situations happen, we need to get immediate response. I'm not here to play politics with nobody and play games, with nobody. As it relates to the technology, I am a believer in technology in appropriate ways, and when it makes sense, when it's not offending citizens. If someone is being murdered, someone is being shot, that's something to look at, and we can weigh that out and have those discussions. But what this young lady brought in here to us today, that was her individual situation. I won't exploit that.
Don't wait till they come to you.
Come on with it.
Okay.
Through the chair,
Commissioner Ivey?
we have to get the information first. Although it may seem like we're waiting for it to come, we don't know what's happening until it happens. So I thank her again and commend her for her courageousness. If more people stood up like she did, we would have more reasons to fight harder. But if you're not saying anything, we're not mind readers, we don't know. So again, I commend any citizen in any district to stand up and say what's going on so we can be that help that you need. Other than that, we're not mind readers and we're not silent to the issues. If we don't know, we don't know. But when we know, we work.
Thank you. Any others? Okay. Next speaker, please.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Not to take away from the wonderful work at DPD, but the reason those sliders aren't coming to Vassar is because I told them not to. Those kids look up to me because they know I want to keep them safe. And I provided them the spot in the city to do that. I've done drifting pits outside of the city too. All they need is a spot. Just as when we were talking about the teen takeovers about a month ago, DPD's response was, we're gonna arrest the kids, we're gonna ticket their parents, and the chair's response was, why don't we give them a spot? Why don't we do a teen night downtown? As soon as they're done being teens, they're gonna be late teens to mid-20s, and they wanna drift, they wanna drive, they have fancy cars. They have the highest horsepower cars ever made, and no place to use them. So we need to give these kids a legal spot to do this, to keep our community safe and keep them safe till they outgrow this behavior. The surveillance of ShotSpotter, We definitely need to look in that, and also Flock. Flock released the Raven technology, which is just a public update that say, hey, now our cameras aren't just LPRs, they're facial recognition, and they're also audio monitoring and can respond to cries of distress. To know that our cars are going to be surveilled, every vehicle after 2027 has surveillance in it now. Video monitoring, audio monitoring, that's in the ownership of the manufacturer to do with that data what they choose. We need to protect our community and our streets from this. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you,
Commissioner
Madam Chair.
Camillo.
Mr. Mann, if you haven't signed in with your contact information, do you mind leaving your contact information with our secretary? Yes, please. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I could forward the email to you
Thank
that
you.
he sent me.
Thank you.
Okay.
Think I catch the bus for nothing.
Commissioner Bowman, did you have something?
Oh, yeah, I was going to comment that there is, I found it to be a bit fantastical when he first mentioned this at our previous meeting. I've since looked this up, looked at what he sent me. It's real. It's amazing that the federal government could sneak this in under the public's nose and already have something in law that, 2027 model cars, I assume they're being built right now. Probably going to be some available soon. They always have them out, the year ahead. So just, I guess what my advice would be, everybody who cares about your privacy is don't buy a new car. Unless you have a way of disengaging that technology safely without, damaging the functionality of the car. Unfortunately, new cars you typically buy making payments, so it might be something in your contract preventing that. So, that would be my solution for now. Obviously, the real solution is to bounce the politicians out of office who have these tyrannical attitudes toward their constituents or subjects as they probably see us.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Our next three speakers will be Ms. Williams, Millie Gibson, and Jade Slaughter.
I like to commend the 8th precinct. I've been coming here over 3 years. This is the second Board of Commission new members, except for 2. I have not heard a report like this since I've been coming to this Board of Commission meeting. You guys went back to basics. You're really concerned about the citizens and these kids, and you are doing what you should do as officers. Real cops, not the ones that came from prison with these fake names on the Detroit Police Department. So I commend the 8th precinct. So let's get back to last week. You two, the chair in Woods. When you got up, Eva, and you said you didn't want to hear, you the chair, you the president. What you mean you don't want to hear when a police officer threatened my life? You got up last week at the headquarters. You want to sit up and talk about stuff ain't acceptable when the police officers threatened my life and you all still ain't did nothing about it? It's going to be accountability. One is the real cop and one is on the force with a fake cop name. It's just like you all sit up here like this don't exist. And like the chief said, you all come to these graduations, you got some invested because it's non-American citizens with fake names to move up in the force. And your friends that's been in prison with fake names is on the Detroit Police Department. Let's keep this 100. How did orange Jews get on the force? So every time I get up here and speak, facts. I went to the 3rd yesterday. Me being raped is not no general report. Me being threatened and someone killing my life is not a general report. So this is what I'm saying. You all suppress the truth. You want to deflect us what's really going on in this city. None of this can be going on. I know somebody's on the force with he got 2 different IDs, one with his real name, one with his fake name. He on the force. But his medication, 3 bottles of medication on the bus on the way to work with a badge and gun that he was in prison with. Make that make sense.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Deputy Chief, the Commission, and everyone that's here, including the public.
Could you speak into the speaker?
My name is Millie Gibson, and I just greeted the Deputy Chief, the Commission, and the public. And I'm only 2 years into being a citizen in the 8th precinct, and I would like to thank, I think it's Sergeant Nixon or Dixon, because she's been very responsive. I've been suffering for 2 years since I've been in that district, and I can tell that she did what she said she was gonna do, because now the culprits are looking at me different kind of ways, and they're just really not harassing me as much as they were. So I would like to thank you for giving me some attention. Iverson, is it Ivy, Commissioner? You said if you had got a hold of me, you said you was gonna come and pay me a visit on a Monday, so I take it you've been busy because it's 3 Mondays past and I haven't saw you. But had you come and been as directed as you are toward this young lady toward me, I would not have been robbed last Saturday. So although Sergeant Dixon or Nixon did her job, the harassment and the breaking and entering hasn't ceased. And I'd like the deputy chief to know that I think this is a gangster, organized criminal ring originating from Inkster, Michigan, and is running through Alternative for Girls, Neighborhood Legal Services, any type of housing that has to do with people that are homeless. And I think that's one of the reasons why I am being attacked the way I am. So I really think that the 8th precinct should do more when we make phone calls, or if there's 911 calls, or if now there's no response at all when I call.
Through the chair.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Ivy?
Yes. Ms. Gibson, did you make your complaint? Because when we talked and we had this conversation, and I was explaining to you that once you got your actual complaint in, then we can move forward and trying to figure out what's going on. Did you actually do a citizen complaint on, because it's two different. You have a civil and you have a citizen. And your civil complaint would be what me and you had talked about, and that is something that you would have to go through the courts for and make those allegations toward that building, right? But if there was police misconduct, then that would be your citizen complaint that I and this board can handle for you. So did you do the citizen complaint about any misconduct of any officers that were at the building, or did you do the civil complaint where we discussed what was going on and the theft of money coming out of that building?
Okay,
for yourself.
The civil complaint, I know I must go to court for that.
Yes.
So the criminal complaints, again, Officer C. Jones, when I first got there, he just looked at me at the door and wouldn't get up or even open the door or acknowledge that I was there.
Was this at the precinct or at the apartment?
It was at the 8th precinct.
Okay.
I went to the precinct as you instructed me.
Yes.
And I was taunted so badly till I was never, ever allowed to even make the complaint. And that was one of my chief complaints with you, is that when I go into that precinct, nobody is willing to take my complaint outside of Sergeant Nixon. Or is it Nixon or Dixon? I'm sorry, I'm messing your name all up. So therefore, I was robbed again Saturday. There's no forced entries. So I did do as you said, so that's why I've been telephoning you all week to let you know that I was never allowed to make the complaint. So I'm still back to square one.
Okay, we'll talk some more. Thank you for that, and thank you for letting us know what's going on.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Hello, my name is Jade Slaughter. I'm a resident of District 5. I would first like to extend thanks to the board for having to listen to do public comments here. My primary thing I want to say today is that I share concerns with other folks who have talked today about the ShotSpotter contract renewal. It's from all the data that I've seen, it seems like there's a lot of holes in the efficacy of ShotSpotter, and it is a huge cost to the city. And even if we like the idea of something giving us any amount of extra data, we have to really take into account the cost it is to the city and how that sort of funds could be used for other things. And we really, there's plenty of other cities in the country that have gotten rid of ShotSpotter because of lack of efficacy. We see cities like Chicago, Kansas City, Portland, Dayton, Charlotte, and others get rid of it because of it's not really worth the cost in their eyes. And at the end of the day, ShotSpotter doesn't prevent crime. It really is just a way to, look at it after the fact for any amount of time that it is able to be helpful. Versus there are things like the community violence interventions or putting money into more things like schools. I mean, Detroit is closing several schools from what I was reading local news recently. So I imagine those funds could be better used in places like that would actually help prevent crime better than something like ShotSpotter. And so I would urge the board to please make a recommendation to City Council to not renew that contract. And lastly, as a separate topic, I would like to continue to express my support for the People's Body Cam ordinance that is put forward by DARPA and CPTA, and that the board make a recommendation to City Council to adopt that language rather than to improve upon the body cam ordinance that was passed last year. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Woods?
Yep. So are you a part of CPTA?
I'm a member of DARPA, the Detroit Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression, not CPTA, though. We do work closely together.
Okay, all right.
Any other? Okay.
Madam Chair?
Next speaker, please.
Madam Chair?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I don't have any questions for you. You're all set. Thank you. I just want to reiterate, my position on ShotSpotter has been to not renew it and for those funds to be used for preventive measures to resolve crime rather than a poorly reactive, expensive tool. And I have yet to see any data come from the department or anywhere else to convince me of otherwise. So I'd just like to thank those who continue to come forward and expose the problems with the surveillance technology.
Thank you. Commissioner Bowman?
Yeah, I want to echo that. And there's even specific, kind of ironic in its similarity of name, something called ShotStopper, which is not ShotSpotter, but a community-based intervention program that actually has had statistics they could show to show that there has been a measurable decline in violent crimes in the area where they were applying the program. I think especially in the 48205 zip code, to be specific. And that program has lost some funding because they were getting some of it from the federal government and some of that was cut. But yeah, there's definitely, it's not necessarily a matter of just spending money, it might help, so it's still worth it. No, what you're doing is you're taking money away that could be spent somewhere else that could do more good, and that's really what I'm seeing, and you're right. It's better to prevent something than to react to it later.
Thank you. Any other? Commissioner Woods?
Yep. Through the chair, do the department, are you guys prepared to make presentation to City Council next week?
Yes, there will be representatives from the department there. I'm not sure. I can't speak directly to what conversations have been had with City Council already, but I can say that anytime a contract goes to City Council, there are representatives from the department there to answer any questions and address any concerns.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that, one council person did come out today in opposition of ShotSpotter. And so I'm interested to see, what the data, the raw data is going to look like in terms of that, the city council is the city council. We have no power or authority over that. Now, I'm not, any commissioner can send a letter over to them or whatever, but they'll make their decision, as I'm sure you guys will be over there to express your concerns about it, and they're going to be expressing, I don't know what the department overall position on it now, what I saw in the paper, but I'm interested to see the debate.
Commissioner Watts?
Yeah, just briefly, I was going to echo that and say I definitely would encourage you to come over there and be there at City Council doing public comment because they ultimately have a final decision. But question to you, DC Pierce, do you know if this contract is a renewal, extension, or is this a new one?
So I guess it's best characterized as a renewal because we are extending the life of the contract. And it's my understanding that we're extending the life of the contract to give us time to possibly go out for additional bids to see what other technology, comparable technology is out there. That's my understanding of the situation thus far.
Go out for bids, you said?
To go out for bid, I'm sorry, to go out for bid to see if there's better technology or comparable technology at a better price.
With the data included to see if it's effective as well.
When we go out to bid, we set expectations for the vendors. We don't necessarily give them our data, but we require them to give us information.
No, I
on
know
what they're
that. You won't
proposing.
give them
Yes.
your data, but how you write that scope of services is going to depend on the responses you get from an RFP. So you have to include, it's not like you're giving them the data, but you also want them in their proposal to provide you data, whether it's accurate, whether they're experienced, whether it works, whether we're getting a good bang for our buck.
Absolutely.
Any others?
Madam Chair?
Commissioner Camille?
Thank you. Just a follow-up kind of question. It might be a question in here. It's mostly a comment. Vice Chair Woods mentioned the data, which I think is very important for us to take a look at. And I'm anticipating that DPD will be presenting to City Council some compiled data, right, into a PowerPoint presentation. And so I'm wondering what the appetite is for allowing some raw data to be available to outside entities to do an audit of the data in its raw form, instead of only being able to see the information after it's been analyzed and compiled by the department.
Was that a question?
Sure. Now it's a question.
I can't speak to what materials will be presented to City Council next week, just as I can't speak to what discussions have already been had with City Council. I do know there is a lot of attention around ShotSpotter. I know the department does have data and has shared data. And if I'm not mistaken, weekly reports are submitted to the Board of Police Commissioners regarding ShotSpotter data. The department maintains that it is effective technology and it does help with investigations. You know, a criticism earlier in the presentation was that there was only a 3% arrest rate. Let me be very clear. ShotSpotter is in place to change behavior. There are departments that have abandoned the technology because it wasn't leading to enough arrests. It's not the arrests we look for. It is whether or not behavior is changing as a result. And all the data that I have seen, and when I helped advocate for the expansion of it, the data that I saw showed that it had a definitive and measurable effect on changing behavior, reducing the number of shots fired runs in particular areas where it had been deployed. So for those who are, only interested in how many arrests it leads to, you're absolutely missing the point. We don't want to arrest people. If we can change behavior before people are arrested, that is the ultimate win by the Detroit Police Department. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, thank you. Thank you for that, DC Parrish. And I agree that I think all of us want behavior to change. We don't want more people locked up. We want people in society to change their behavior so that we can live in safe and just societies. My concern is there's a difference between correlation and causation. And so there's a lot of efforts going on across the city to change behaviors and to hold each other accountable. So how do we know that the changes in behavior are because of ShotSpotter and not because of some other efforts? And especially with how much it costs, I think it's important that we are absolutely confident that ShotSpotter is causing the change of behavior if we're going to continue to pay tax dollars to keep it going.
Commissioner, thank you. Commissioner Woods?
Yep. I'm interested in if it save any life. You know, if they responded to a situation and if any lives were saved. That's what I'm interested in. It's about the quality of life for the citizens of the city of Detroit. And so that debate that'll happen on next week in City Council. I'll be definitely tuned in to it. But I want to applaud your group for coming in. You are very articulate, sound very intelligent, and I say keep up your advocacy. You know, and I respect your voices.
Madam Chair, no doubt, that's District 5.
Okay. Okay, any other, next speaker?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next three speakers will be Ms. Michelle George, Calvin Moorer, and Jacob Smith.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Chair, and to the Honorable Board and DC Parish. I just wanted to comment on, I know a while back there was, and thank you all for having a discussion dealing with Tracy Allen and shooting with the officer Zachary. So thank you for that discussion last week. Also, there was an incident not too long ago where an officer, a citizen was in handcuffs. Now, the arrest was warranted, but he just kept punching him. So I wanted to know what happened with that situation with that officer. And it is kind of disheartening to hear what happened with this young lady. It seemed like I've been hearing more stories about precincts where they're kind of mean to a lot of the citizens, and a lot of times it seems like it's black women. And I brought this up before last week when Malcolm X stated that the black woman is the most disrespected, he said in 1962. So we are willing to, it's an issue going on with that. So I'm hoping that will be addressed as well. And I'm glad the gentleman, she had to speak about that with her neighbor, that, because we saw what happened to Breonna Taylor. And also her neighbor, that can warrant another lawsuit. And I did make a comment last time about that police union that tends to shield officers that need discipline, that Craig Miller, I called his office. I do want to say, but regarding the police officers, I do want to say there is a violence in the city. As I always tell you, I see the end of it when they're shot and in ICU.
Yeah.
The issue with the drag racing, and I never forget when Chief Craig mentioned, talking about, oh, they're going to do what they're going to do. That seemed like it made it worse. No, they cannot. There's certain things they cannot do because on Outer Drive, some kids got killed and wind up in a morgue. And so that's the issue I have with that. Also, I'm just hoping and praying there's a situation with the marijuana edibles. And I'm going to work with legislation that these dispensaries put marijuana edibles, because some children got a hold at a school, elementary school, and sent them to the hospital. And I always tell young people that when you eat that edible, it's not getting you high. It's going to damage your liver because it released that THC. So that's something I'll be working on as a nurse. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
Good evening. How y'all doing?
Good evening.
My name's Kelvin Moore. This is my mother. I brought her with me because the stuff I'm gonna talk about most of the time, she's been on the phone with me when it happened. But so I'm gonna talk about an incident 2 days ago, but I just need to figure out how to get the police in Detroit to stop harassing me. I'm a business owner in Detroit, and it's like they follow me. Yesterday they followed my son. They passed me, and he was about a block or two behind me. They turn around behind him, follow him home, and then I see him when they pull up, and I'm thinking like, well, they just passed me. How's they follow him? So when they pull him over, they wait till he parked, then they flick the lights and pull him over. So I pull out of the driveway and park across the street from him, and I'm like, you know, so I just sit there. The cop say, he look at me, he like, oh, you need to keep it moving. I'm like, nah, that's my son, or whatever. He like, I don't care who he is, he grown, you need to keep it moving. I say, yeah, I'm not about to go anywhere. I say, this is my son, I'm gonna just chill, I'm not that type of person. I'm just gonna watch and see what y'all do. whatever. You interrupted an investigation. I'm like, but I don't have anything to say to y'all. I'm just watching to make sure my son is all right, whatever. You interrupted me, and I can't. It's 3 of y'all. It's 3 cops. My son by himself. I'm watching. They turn around. He tells me, "Oh, you're detained." I'm like, "Okay." So as he's walking to his car, so when he's never over near me. I parked across the street. When he gets ready to come to me, she's on the phone with me the whole time. As soon as he come to me, I'm like, "Okay, well, I have a CPL, whatever, just so you know." I give it to him. He like, "Okay." One officer, he cool. He like, "Okay, cool, give me your license, this and that. Just don't reach for your gun." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Me and him get to talking. We having a good conversation. I'm telling him about all of the incidents I had with police in that precinct. When I say, I got video footage of all of it. And it's like they pick with me, they pull up on me, they pulled up on me at my shop with my 3-year-old daughter. We wiping on the car. They just pull in the driveway, jump out the black truck. "Oh, well, you got CPL?" And I'm like, "Yo, what is y'all pulling up on me for? I'm sitting here working," or whatever. They try to walk my building. I have to walk my daughter back in the building to my wife. They all on my back. I'm like, so I got into it with them that day. I cussed them out, told them to get off my property, because I'm not doing nothing. I'm working.
Sir, have you filed a complaint at all with
I filed a complaint the other night. I filed a complaint before. They came and ticketed me during COVID for being in my own building that was closed, cleaning up. Came about 10 cars deep with the van. You would have thought I was getting raided. I'm like, "Why y'all here?" "Oh, well, you shouldn't be open." I'm like, "Do you see them metal doors? They're down. We not open. We cleaning up," or whatever. I'm not about to leave all this trash here. I'm shut down for 2-3 months. I got to clean up. They gave me tickets because they asked my workers, young guys, "Oh, you got cars in here. Open the trunks. Let us search them." We like, "Yeah, no, that's not happening." They turn around, give us tickets for that. Whatever. They pulled up on me before. I'm talking to my hot dog lady outside. We just standing there. 8 cars pull up on me.
Okay.
They don't say nothing, nobody else but me.
I'm sorry, but we only have 2 minutes.
Yeah, I get it.
And I know you.
I could go for about an hour off of the stuff I dealt with.
We may want to have you talk to our OCI person just to follow up, but I think one of the commissioners has a question.
Thank you, Chair.
Go ahead.
What district is your business located in?
It's in precinct 8. It's 7 Mile in Mansfield.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yeah.
I want to speak with you after the meeting if that's possible.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Williams and then Commissioner Woods.
Hold on.
Sir, we have a couple questions, just a couple questions.
No, I spoke with him yesterday,
Okay.
and he told me about the situation that was going on. He has made a police report. I told him about today's meeting, and I told him that this is a meeting that he should come to voice his concern, and I'm hoping that somebody could assist with him. He is a business owner in this district, and he also is a resident of this district. His house and residence is maybe a mile away from each other, and he shouldn't have to deal with whatever he's dealing with, for whatever the reason might be. So I'm hoping that he gets the help that he's looking for.
Okay, well, one of the commissioners is going to, would like to speak with you. So that's number one. And then, I'm sorry?
Represents the community. He does a firework, he does backpack giveaways, he does trick or trunk or treat, he does all of this on his personal pocket. You know, everything for his community. But he is treated very badly by the police.
Okay.
Okay.
Very bad.
Commander Lever,
Commissioner
can you stand up? Do you know the commander?
No, I've never met him.
Okay, that's Commander
Yes,
Lever.
Commander
That's your
Lever.
commander in this
Yes,
area.
and I'm your police commissioner.
Yeah, and that's your police commissioner, but that's the commander.
Oh, he's on this side of Southfield. He's on the east side of Southfield.
And in the 8th precinct?
We all your commissioners.
That's right, we all here for you.
It is what it is, as long as y'all can help with this situation.
Wait a minute, wait a
I feel
minute.
like I'm playing hide and seek with the police when I leave.
No, what I'm saying, forget about us.
We're here for you.
You know, forget about all of us for right now.
Yeah.
You know, what I'm saying to you is that is the commander of the 8th precinct. And when you're having these particular issues, you should, as a business owner, you should have a relationship with the commander of whatever precinct it is, and your commissioner can help bridge that gap.
Okay.
It's an expectation for the commanders to have relationships with business owners in the community to be able to deal with some of these particular issues. And so, Commander Lever, if you could, if you're not his commander, can you make sure that he have a direct connect with his commander? And I'm sure your commissioner, I can't speak for them, but I know I would be willing to sit down with the commander and yourself to try to mediate whatever need to be done to try to resolve issues. And, you know.
Well, my main reason for being here today, too, is because he wrote me a ticket saying that I didn't tell him I had a gun up front. One, that'll get my license took. I don't feel like that's fair. And then he said I didn't follow the direct orders of an officer when I was as far away from him.
Let me stop you there.
Yeah.
Let me stop you there. You know, because we don't want to litigate your stuff out here.
Right.
You know, so let's sit down and we can figure, you know, to have those conversations, okay?
Okay.
The commander. Yes.
All right.
Yep, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker.
Maybe heard? Okay.
Go ahead, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Hey, everybody. My name's Jacob Smith. I'm with the Detroit Alliance Against Racist and Political Oppression. I'm also a resident of District 5. I'd like to first thank the board for your attention and grace to Zelda and everybody else who's been here reporting incidents of police misconduct. It really does mean a lot that you care like that and are willing to follow up. That's the purpose of this board. Secondarily, I would like to, I've come here to ask the board in whatever way that they can talk to City Council and even if individual board members could write letters to recommend against the renewal of the ShotSpotter contract. I'd like to make a couple points. First off, with regards to change in behavior, much like Commissioner Camille said, correlation does not equal causation, right? And like the incidences of violent crime have been going down all throughout the city. That's a downward trend, right? I think it's disingenuous, perhaps misleading, to point to reduced incidences in those particular neighborhoods and say that that is being caused by ShotSpotter. Secondarily, with regards to Commissioner Woods' question to how many lives get saved, the specific statistics for the city of Detroit are that 1% of all ShotSpotter calls result in somebody getting into an ambulance. Once again, this is a renewal for $2.5 million. This is money, we've heard so much about these community violence intervention programs, particularly the Shot Stoppers program that needs more funding with great groups like 300 Detroit and Force Detroit. And these groups are proven to actually lower incidences of violent crime in the neighborhoods and they act in. Every single one of the neighborhoods that are covered by one of these community violence intervention groups have a reduction, a statistically significant reduction in violence over and above the general trend for the city. I think that is what we should be spending our money on instead of surveilling our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Our next three speakers will be Leda Watts, Minister Malik Shabazz, and Mr. Ronald Foster.
If we could, I'm sure that we could take the mic to him.
Yes, let's see if we can do that.
Yeah, once she finished. Yeah.
She's first,
you
ma'am.
first.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Leda Watts, and I live in Martin Park, 12th Precinct District. And I'm here today because of crime rate in the area. We're having young men walking up the blocks with ski masks on. Last Friday, I had 2 young men run up in my yard with ski masks on.
I don't want to be anybody's victim, and I don't want to make nobody else a victim. We have lots of elderly people where I live at, been in the neighborhood for over 40 years. They are afraid. They have addressed their concerns. We live down the street from the top prosecutor, and we just looking for more help over in the area. And that's what I came to talk about today.
Thank you. Any comment?
Yeah, through the chair.
Commissioner Williams?
I would get with the 12th precinct over there and get them. I'm not sure if that was you. That was you last week? Okay, yep. I'll get an update on it because they did make a note of that. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, next speakers.
Giving honor to God. I'd like to thank the board for having these meetings. And I just came to, to back my sister. She no diss, but she called the 12th precinct and they didn't come. She called before about some similar instances and they didn't come. And we know that the police are overworked and underpaid and undersupported. We get that. And every kind of pay increase, that the previous mayoral administration tried to bring in, we supported, and we fought against the emergency manager cuts to our first responders. So, but still, we all need each other, and we have to do better. Complaints about the police shouldn't be looked at in an adversarial way. It should be looked at, how do we make this better? How do we work together? How do we get the people and the press and the politicians, the police, the philanthropists, the business leaders, how do we get all of us to work together on one accord? Because we all love Detroit, and we all want a better and safer and cleaner Detroit. Black, white, urbanite, suburbanite, those who want to set up business here, those who want to play here, and most deaf, those who live here and have stayed here all these years. So that's what it's about, us coming together. And of course, we, myself, my group, we remain at your service. When you need us, call us. We have never told the police no. When they called and we need case, this or that, or we want you to hit this area or canvas or whatever, we've never said no before the wheelchair, and we're not saying no, praise God, in a wheelchair. And we're gonna make Detroit what God wants it to be, the #1 city on this planet. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Jones?
Yes. Minister Shabazz, I am sitting here almost swelling up because prayers work. And it is so good to see you this evening.
Absolutely. Thank you. Commissioner Bowman? Commissioner Bowman?
Yeah, I just wanted to echo Robert Jones' statement, because we all were thinking about you, and I mean, I know I was. I saw in the news you're in the hospital multiple times, and it's just so wonderful to see you here. and still speaking the truth and, reaching the people and working to make our city safer. So thank you for hanging in there and being back with us, and it's great to see you again.
Thank you. Definitely, thank you. Any other commissioners? Okay, Commissioner Woods?
Yeah, so are we connecting him with Commander McCord in the 12th precinct? Is this a 12th precinct issue? Have you guys spoken to the Commander McCord in the 12th? So she is the commander of the 12th, and I will work with you, Baba, to make that connection so that you can have the connection with the commander over there to be able to take a look at your concerns. Yep. And always a pleasure.
Always.
Great.
I'll be telling you, sit your butt down, though.
Great to see him. Great to see you. Next speaker, please.
Good evening through the commission. Just
Good
first
evening.
thing, having a ski mask on, that's not a crime. I wore one last week because it was cold out, right? And so as a community, we have to get over our phobias and find common grounds. That's not a police issue. That's an ultimate issue as it pertains to our society. Second, I appreciate Commander Lever. I always see him out in the community, him, his staff, his NPOs, the new captain up there, and they always visit at Java House and other community events. And so Ms. Love, I see her at the games and in the community as well. But, they always visual and into the community, so I did want to acknowledge that. Thirdly, I want to remind this commission, the chair, co-chair, and everybody, this city is nonpartisan. Police in this country, in and of itself, is nonpartisan. If you don't know what nonpartisan means, then go look it up. We have to have a nonpartisan oversight and law enforcement here, bottom line. Thirdly, there's power in words, right? You guys operate under what's called good faith. Faith is a spiritual thing. In every other country, it's called the ministry of police. Here, they're called police and everything else. But with that said, one of the tools I would like to give you, because you all have been responsible last week with objections and just working cohesively. When the officer says, "I promise," that promise have to be held all the way throughout the judicial system. So if you're a spiritual person, if you're acting out of good faith, you have the ability on the streets to change perspective and the dynamics of what goes on. It don't just start here, so when we hiring people, it's not just about hiring people for a job. This is a ministry here. You're dealing with people with mental illness. You're dealing with people with all type of things. And if you are not equipped for the ministry, don't sign up for it, right? But if you are in it, then they're responsible. Good faith, I promise. Just have to live up to that promise.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Our next two speakers in the auditorium will be Rosalind O'Byrne and Mr. Rue, and then we'll go into Zoom. Mr. Rue, Nini's friend.
Hello, Honorable Commissioner Board. Thank you for the opportunity to be in the community for us to be able to address and present our issues. I am Rosalind M. Ogburn. I hold multiple titles in my community. First, I have to give a shout out to my commissioner, Victoria Camille. Thank you for the amazing job you have done. I also want to just say hello to Commissioner Ivy as well. So I'm also a candidate for State Representative House 4, which consists a lot of City Council 7, a little bit of 1, and a little bit of 2. So I have been knocking doors. I have been having conversation with the community. There's multiple issues, but the first thing I want to uplift is what the gentleman pointed on. Last Thursday was National Prayer Day. So I want to uplift that this is a ministry. When you go into the community with our officers in every role you hold right now, it is special and it's anointed and it is from God. And I wanted to lay that there. Number 2, the reality is our seniors are scared. I want to say that. District 6 only got one precinct, but District 7, District 2, and District 1. I want to say specifically to District 2, the Bellamere Senior Center building located on 14824 Greenfield. They have 88 residents in there. There was an incident over 2 months ago that there was a shooting. One of the seniors was sitting in her chair. The bullet came right on the side of her. When the officers came out, they found out right outside the apartment building was riddled with shells. There's multiple apartment buildings across the street that are vacant. As of right now, they're pulling up in front of the apartment building. They're cooking and barbecuing, and they're also using their parking lot for sexual activities. Now, had I not been going door to door, had I not been hosting events, had I not been going into these spaces, I would have not found that out. Those are multiple situations, but that one that has 88 seniors in there, and they said it's getting warm, it's getting hot. And like Commissioner Ivy said, there are many people that are not speaking because they're scared. And that's what I wanted to say. That they're only saying things to certain people, and that's why I'm here. And I will sidebar to have this conversation, but everyone does not have the confidence and the boldness to come speak at this mic.
Okay.
So I bless
thank
you and I thank you, and you have a great day.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Hey, everybody in this room, can you hear me clearly? Listen up. Hey, Scotty Bowman, you got a television internet show with Robert Ficano. You know, he was a cheated-in public official during his time. I'm not lying. You know how I know? Because I'm Youngblood from the Brewster Projects. I know how deep it goes here in Detroit City. And can't nobody in this room, City of Detroit, County of Wayne, State of Michigan, nor America call me a liar. I don't lie. There's only one reason I will. Now, Mr. Jones, I'm looking at that name, and that's Martin Jones I'm talking about. You related to him? Because, see, you sit next to a whole fake fraud, Daryl Woods. Daryl Woods been pulling y'all strings along. Hey, did you ask Mark McLeod about me, man? Did he tell you that I really am Youngblood from the Brewster Projects in 1980? Did he tell you I was one of the coldest ones at the school we went to, Cody High School? I got kicked out in 8th grade. My first take-home check was $2,356. I got kicked out in the 11th grade. Before graduation, I was pulled that bank down at the Mazda Flat Rock plant, where I was working 7 days a week, 16 hours a day. First and youngest member ever in Labor's Local 1191. Now, I'm not lying about Sugar Honey Iced Tea. And I used to live in 1905 Balmoral Drive. My neighbor was Cardinal Dearden. I used to wave at him when I was 12, 11, 13. And I know Dodo. That was my dude. Brewster Projects, I'm Youngblood. For real, for real. It ain't no joke. Butch, I knew Butch. Butch knew me. I know a lot of them. Because I used to run with who I used to run with. And I did what I did, and the police department assassinated my aunt.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you. Thank you. Commissioner Woods? Your 2 minutes are up. Go ahead, Mr. Woods.
For those who are experiencing trauma out there or any crisis, the DWIN hotline is 1-800-241-4949. 1-800-241-4949. 1-800-241-4949.
Thank you. Now we have Zoom. We're going to Zoom.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our first speaker will be Ms. Tara Brown, then we'll go to Ms. Maddox and Scarlett, and then we'll go to Dior Wilson.
Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon, Commissioner.
Good afternoon.
The public deserves a board of police commissioners that operates with integrity, transparency, and professionalism. Allegations raised against the board secretary are deeply disturbing and cannot simply be ignored. According to a written document that I have seen, the secretary is accused of undermining the elected commissioners, manipulating schedules without permission, and engaging in conduct that has now reportedly been questioned by not only the previous board, but the current board as well. If true, this is not just office drama. It is an abuse of administrative power that interferes with democratic oversight of the Detroit Police Department. No unelected staff member should be working against the very commissioners the public elected to represent them. The board needs to demand accountability, and you can't only demand accountability from Detroit police officers while ignoring serious accusations inside your own administration. Accountability must apply to everyone equally. If there is credible evidence that the board secretary has abused her position, undermined commissioners, or improperly interfered with board operations, then she should be terminated immediately, pending a full independent investigation. The integrity of the board depends on it. Also, like Commissioner Woods, I too believe in technology, and I respectfully request that you all gather the data regarding her cell phone, security swipes, email accounts, printer data, and the data from her department-issued vehicle. If this data is not available, she should be provided with equipment that makes and monitors those things. Also, DC Parish, citizens paying for shot spotter care about how many arrests are made with that. And behaviors are expected to change. Tell us how those behaviors have changed when we are hearing gunshots riddled in the air on January 1st and the 4th of July. Also, I had a chance to look at information about the discussion you all had last week about promoting Officer LaToya Chavis. Absolutely not. You all need to take a look at that article that Ross Jones wrote back in 2022 and it's on the internet and it's still available. That woman had a bunch of complaints against her. She seems like a bully and she should have been fired.
Next speaker.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. I am Marguerite Maddox, and my secretary started. And I would like to make some comments that is Spanish, because I've been hearing that may not sound like gunshots, but it is. From the idea in District 5, but my biggest concern is prevalence of public transit and the queue line. But the only problem I have is that whenever I am on public transit, people do not respect my partner, which is the canine partner, and so when I tried to get the driver, I asked the driver to ask him to stop making stupid comments. Even though I may not be able to hear every word, but I will look. And I am a good lip reader. And for those of you who was not speaking up loud on the microphone, please make sure that the microphone is got an angle for the people and you can be able to hear clearly. And one more thing. With the ATVs and the minibikes, we need to find different ways for the youngsters to have fun riding the ATVs in the city of Detroit. And please do not pass the spotting next week. Because it may work at times, but when people's lives are in danger, then sometimes noise can be firecrackers, a balloon popping, and then thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Our last caller will be Dior Wilson.
Go ahead, speaker.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Commissioner, Madam Chair.
Good evening.
I listened carefully to Commander Lieber describe the 8th precinct as being connected to the community, supportive of citizens, and responsive to concerns. He stated it's important to them. It's important to them, so it's important to us. And he spoke about community conversations, victim support, crisis intervention, and building trust with residents. I want the commission to understand why my experience did not reflect those statements. I came into the 8th precinct in February 2025 to report what I believe to be a forgery, fraud, and wire fraud and unlawful lien activity with Twins Auto in Detroit, Michigan. I expected my evidence to be reviewed seriously and professionally. Instead, my complaint was delayed, assumptions were made about me trading in my vehicle that I repeatedly stated that I never traded in. I was characterized as mental ill by Detective Mott of the 8th Precinct, despite him not being medically qualified to make that determination. Most concerning, I had a forensic documentation from an American board certified forensic document examiner stating that I did not sign the documents transferring or trading the vehicle, yet my complaint was reportedly labeled insufficient evidence before my physical evidence and recording and documents were properly collected or reviewed. Commander Lever also spoke with me and we talked about different things, but other than that, Commander Lever spoke about trust and support and listening to the community and responding to citizens. I came to the department asking for exactly that, and that wasn't the case. I reported my concerns, I brought all my evidence, and I feel like my situation was ignored.
Madam Chair, that was your last speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. At this time,
Madam Chair,
go
for
ahead.
the last speaker, can we have OCI follow up?
They have a complaint.
Do they have a complaint in the system already? We've confirmed. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Bowman?
I was just going to say what Commissioner
Okay,
Camille already
the same
said.
thing? Okay. At this time, we'll ask the secretary to give her a report.
Madam Chair, through the chair, under tab 6, Commissioners, is a report for today, reports, incoming communication, together with the Citizen Complaints Committee memorandum for the meeting that was held this week. The announcements for today are as follows. Our next board meeting, the next BOPC board meeting is next Thursday, May 21st. It will be at Public Safety Headquarters at 3 p.m. That's Thursday, May 21st. The June community meeting will be held Thursday, June 11th in the community, 6:30 p.m. The location will be in the 7th Precinct, Martin Luther King Junior High School on East Lafayette in Detroit. The next committee meeting schedule will be the Policy Committee meeting, which will be held on Tuesday at headquarters, Tuesday, May 19th at 3 p.m. And that's the report for today, Madam Secretary. Madam Chair, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. And now under unfinished business.
Madam Chair.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Madam Chair, I actually have an announcement as well, and then 2 follow-up questions for the Secretary from her report.
Go ahead.
Thank you. As far as an announcement, the McKenzie Noble Community Collaborative, which is actually my neighborhood, is having an urgent community safety meeting on May 18th at 6 p.m. at 12048 Grand River. There'll be neighbors, community leaders, and local law enforcement will be coming together to discuss break-ins and prevention strategies and solutions to make our neighborhood safe. I'll be participating in that meeting along with Councilmember Denzel McCampbell and the 2nd Precinct. So anyone who lives or has interest in the McKenzie Noble area are welcome to and encouraged to attend.
Thank you.
And then the 2 follow-up questions, I'm sorry, my allergies are really trying to get to me right now. So there are 2 requests that the board has out to Council Mallett. I know he's not here today, but if the secretary could follow up. The first one, the board passed on April 2nd for council to provide a legal opinion regarding a former DPD employee that requested us to hold a hearing regarding their retirement. I asked about that again on April 30th, and I haven't seen anything come through unless I missed it. I don't think I have. And so I think we need a status on that. There's someone apparently waiting for the board to take some type of action or to respond to them that we have no action to take.
I think Madam Secretary is going to say, were you going to raise your hand?
Madam Chair, through the chair, there was a response by corporate counsel. I believe I'm speaking to the one you have reference to, that there was no jurisdiction with the board. That was something that the person, if I recall, with the retirement board, not the Board of Police Commissioners. There's no jurisdiction. I will make certain that I find it tonight and forward it back to you.
Okay, thank you. Through the chair, if we could just have that communication to us and then confirmation that that individual has been directed where they need to go for their concern. That will be helpful. And then also, last week, Commissioners, we voted to direct Corporation Counsel to draft a memo to Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy to hold Melvin Zachary accountable for shooting Tracy Allen and to make sure that he does not come back here. And so I move to direct, I don't believe we didn't, I know we didn't put a timeline on that. So I move to direct Corporation Counsel Mallett to have that draft to the board for review by Monday, May 19th, so we can prepare to deliberate on it at our next meeting. And that's my motion, Madam Chair.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Madam Secretary, you were going to say something regarding the motion?
I believe Monday, May 18th or Tuesday? I just want to make sure the date.
Did I have the wrong? I'm sorry, you're right, that's
Okay.
Tuesday, May 18th.
That was the only point.
Tuesday, May 19th.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. A motion has been made by Commissioner Camille. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Bowman was seconded? Did Commissioner Bowman second it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, I don't know how many. I think there were only 2 ayes. Is that what I heard?
You need a roll call, Madam Chair?
Okay, we can do a roll call.
Commissioner Woods?
Aye.
Commissioner Bowman?
Aye.
Commissioner Camille?
Aye.
Commissioner Carter is excused. Commissioner Ivy?
Aye.
Commissioner Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Morris is excused. Commissioner Watts?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner DeWalsh?
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Was that it, Commissioner Camille?
Yes.
All right.
Sure.
Yep.
Anything else under unfinished business?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to postpone the unfinished business until next week.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been made by Commissioner Woods, seconded by Commissioner Camille. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Commissioner Bowman?
Yeah, because I feel there needs to be discussion because before we postpone unfinished business, I want to know what's going on with the unfinished business regarding this resolution that I tried to get on the agenda last week. Corporation Counsel Conrad Mallett intervened in an email.
Yes, Madam Parliamentarian.
This is the parliamentarian.
Yes, go ahead.
Commissioners' concerns are not germane to the motion to postpone this matter.
I beg to differ.
Wait, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
That's the parliamentarian's advice. The chair has to rule. The motion before the commission, the board.
Is postponing.
Is to postpone this specific issue. And so the discussion has to be whether you want to postpone it or take it up at this meeting. That's the parliamentarian's advice. The parliamentarian does not rule. The chair will have to rule on whether or not Commissioner Bowman's comments in debate are germane to the motion to postpone or not.
Point of information.
Go ahead.
Was the motion to postpone unfinished business, or was there a specific item, as the parliamentarian asserts?
Again, the motion cannot be to postpone unfinished business because the motion to postpone a class of business would be out of order. Yep. The motion has to be to postpone this specific matter involving the promotion of this police officer. If it had been to postpone unfinished business, the parliamentarian would have interrupted and advised the board that you cannot postpone a whole class of business. Right. You have to postpone a specific matter.
Madam Chair,
okay.
I move
I
to
withdraw
amend.
my
Wait,
objection.
yeah, okay, wait, please. Commissioner Woods, what is your motion? Do you want to?
My motion is to postpone the chief of police recommendation to promote to the rank of sergeant
the four candidates.
Candidates, yeah.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, you second Commissioner Camille?
Yes.
Okay, so it has been made by Commissioner Woods, seconded by Commissioner Camille, that we postpone the chief's recommendation to promote 4 candidates to the rank of sergeant. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Now, any other unfinished business? Okay, Commissioner Bowman.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for that confusion. I had really honestly thought that the motion was to postpone the unfinished business entirely, which was not the case. I apologize.
To be clear, I think that is what Commissioner Woods said initially.
I said, because that's the only thing
Yeah, it
on
was
the
the only
agenda.
thing on the agenda. That's why he said that.
Okay.
So,
I guess this is sort of, I'm thinking of moving this motion, and the motion I'm thinking of is the one I asked to be on the agenda last week. And put this in context, we had Corporation Counsel intervene, saying that he thought, rather than putting words in his mouth, I'll just say it. Many parts of the resolution are in direct conflict with state law as interpreted by Michigan courts over the decade. Now, I had replied asking which law would be violated. The resolution is calling on the city council and the mayor to enter into labor negotiations in a manner that would advocate adherence to the city charter. I don't see how that violates any law, and given that my reply to that message was roughly a week ago, and I have not gotten an answer, I assert that such law does not exist. Because if Corporation Counsel can't identify one law that this violates, yet he says that it violates the law without naming it, well, I say that's vacuous. And so I'm going to move that we adopt the following resolution. And I will proceed. Resolution of the Detroit Board of Police Commissioners regarding the protection of charter-mandated authority and collective bargaining agreements.
Commissioner, could you summarize it? Because it's a very long resolution. Could you just summarize what it's about?
Madam Chair, this is the parliamentarian.
Okay.
The parliamentarian has a question. Is this the resolution that was previously presented?
It was.
What was the disposition?
Oh, I'm sorry. Madam Secretary?
It wasn't.
Madam Chair, if I may, I do recall that a resolution was proposed to be placed on the agenda. It was forwarded to Corporation Counsel to review. Corporation Counsel asked for a delay in 1 week, for a delay of 1 week prior to approval for being placed on the agenda.
Yes.
Reason the matter was not yet approved or recommended to be placed on the agenda, but the resolution was never placed on the agenda.
Thank you.
Yes, and if I recall, we agreed to it at that meeting, which was last week or maybe the week before.
My problem is it's been a week.
Okay. Well, the Corporation
I could give it
Counsel
one
is
more
not
week,
here.
but that's it.
The Corporation Counsel is not here, and so I'm going to recommend that we wait until we can speak to the Corporation Counsel directly, and I'm sure he will be here next week.
Okay, I agree, but as far as I know, the Corporation Counsel doesn't have veto power over our resolutions.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Woods, did you have a comment?
Yep, I will, strongly encourage, I would strongly encourage my fellow commissioner to at least give the Corporation Counsel until next week to be able to review everything, because, these are high legal matters. And, when it comes to legal matters, I'd rather talk about our legal strategies in a closed door session, as opposed to, publicly stating what our legal strategies may or may not be, and so this is a high legal issue, and just deal with judges and arbitrators and all of that type of stuff. So that's my suggestion. You know, he who have himself as a lawyer has a fool for a client.
Commissioner Bowman?
Just to reference one judge who, Damon Keith, I believe it was, who said, democracies die behind closed doors.
Again, I would just say that Corporation Counsel did say he wanted to review it, and I think we should wait and have him review it and speak with him directly. So, thank you. Any other comments? Oh, no? Hearing none? Any new business?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay. Okay, motion, there's been a motion made by Commissioner Woods, supported by Commissioner Watts. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, everyone, for being here. Good night.